Hey, Dr. Singer, turn the music down a little bit, would ya? Okay, well, it's official. The major contest giveaway for this incredible 1885 Singer 12K closed it closed on Friday at midnight. And we ended up having a total of 4 outstanding entries. Incredible entries as far as writing style and creativity. And as Bill had said to me in a note, he said, I'm going to be dreaming about steamboats all night because they were so well written. And the folks that submitted them, if you're not tracking that, were Sonny Jim, Mary Klein, Debbie Gavin, and Barbie Chatter. So we've got a total of 4 that are competing in a friendly manner to try to win this incredible 12K that came out of my personal collection that I purchased and was shipped from the United Kingdom. And I would encourage you to read those entries just so you can really appreciate their talent and also gain more understanding about the area that my good friend and moderator / editor Bill O'Rourke comes from, Kissimmee, Florida. So again, if you're brand new to this channel and you're saying, I didn't even know there was a major giveaway, it's too late for this one. This one is closed. But this is what you could have won if you had clicked subscribe, because then you would have received notification about that premiere being posted, and you could have thrown your hat into the ring to try to win this incredible machine. I'm going to come off the tripod and just let you see what you missed out on. And again, when I got this machine from the United Kingdom, I had no intention to ever part with it. But as Bill and I and Hans talked about the major contest for hitting 8,000 subscribers, and the year that Kissimmee, Florida came into existence, this machine just absolutely fit like a glove. It just fit like a glove, because the date of that great city of Kissimmee, Florida coming into existence, being incorporated, and the year that this machine was born were only years apart. And you can watch that premiere and you can read the posts if you want to learn more about that. And this gentleman, I just threw him in. He's probably more of a pirate than a steamboat captain, but he's all I had. So maybe we should have a contest on naming this guy and talking about his history and his story and all that. And maybe, who knows, maybe he was a misguided pirate that became a steamboat captain at some point. And he always got lost, because you can see he's holding his compass there, trying to figure out, okay, what direction do I go? What direction do I go? So I just wanted to open with this and let you know that the contest for 8,000 is officially over. But here's the good news. Let me kind of zoom in on this a little bit. Here's the good news. We are only a hiccup away from the next major contest. I'm not kidding you. We literally just days ago wrapped up the major contest for hitting the milestone of 8,000 subscribers. And the contest was built around, again, Kissimmee, Florida. And, well, you can look into it if you want to learn more. The giveaway item was this incredible 1885 Singer 12K. But We are so close right now to our next major giveaway, which will be celebrating 9,000 subscribers. And you know what? As I looked at the analytics, I almost got a little bit depressed because I was really just pumped up and saying, this is fabulous. This is incredible. This is crazy. You know, I never imagined that we, within a niche type footprint like this of vintage sewing machines, would grow to this level and be growing so rapidly. Again, we're gaining about 200 to 300 new subscribers every month. But then again, I looked at the analytics on YouTube and I got a little bit sad because the analytics will show you, based on the viewership of your channel, how many people are watching it on a regular basis that are subscribed, how many people are watching it that are not subscribed. Over 80% of the regular visitors from around the world that come to the YouTube channel and watch a lot of videos, 80% plus of them are not subscribed. So while we can celebrate, oh my gosh, we just hit 8,000 subscribers, and now we're already at 8,660 subscribers. We're only 340 subscribers away from the next major giveaway. Look at how many people are coming to this YouTube channel, watching a ton of videos, and they never click the subscribe button. That's a bummer, because those folks are the ones that are going to then learn after the fact about a major giveaway like this, where they could have won an incredible 1885 12K through this giveaway that Sonny Jim and Mary Klein and Debbie Gavin and Barbie Chatter all jumped into. But all these other folks, 80+% of the people visiting the channel, will find out about great giveaways like this most likely after the fact. And they'll never ever be able to throw their hat into the ring to have a chance to win an incredible machine like this, or to win the next incredible machine that I'm going to be giving away. So if you're watching this premiere right now, or you're watching this premiere after the fact as a video posted on this channel, and you're not subscribed, doggone it, click that subscribe button so that you can be on the inside track. You can be part of that VIP circle of getting notifications right away when there's a new premiere announcement being made, when there's a new video being posted, when there's an impromptu video being posted where there might be some real cool stuff that I'm giving away. Kind of like one of these really cool coffee, where are they? Ah, there they are. One of these really cool coffee theme mugs that you can win. Or maybe one of those really cool LED lights that I just gave away as well. The LED lights are ones that'll fit in the Husqvarna Vikings. They'll fit in the FOF machines. They'll fit in a number of the other machines as well. And they're incredible. They put out like 4 times more light and virtually no heat at all. And that's the big deal when you got those old style incandescent type 25 watt bulbs. It doesn't sound like much, right? A 25 watt bulb in a sewing machine. But those things kick out so much heat. It's crazy. And the beauty of these LED bulbs that I've recently really embraced, and I've given a couple of them away already, they're just fabulous. And again, if you're not a subscriber, guess what? You're going to miss out, because I usually will do those as the live premiere is airing. And if you watch it after the fact and you reach out and go, can I get one of those bulbs? The answer is going to be no. Or if you find out about a giveaway like this where you could have won an 1885 Singer 12K, an original one, fiddle bass, in an original bass as well, and you reach out and you go, is there any way, you haven't announced a winner yet, is there any way at all that I can get involved with that contest? The answer is going to be no. So take a second, doggone it, and use your mouse or your mouse pad or your iPad or whatever the heck you're watching this on, and click that subscribe button. 80% plus of the people watching this channel are not subscribers. That makes no sense at all. It's so easy. And no one sells your information. No one bugs you. No one bothers you. It just puts you in that VIP circle so that you're able to know what's going on and benefit from it. Like, again, like Sunny and Mary and Debbie and Barbie that are all subscribers and learned about this contest and jumped into it. And one of them is going to receive this Singer 12K from 1885. They're going to get it free of charge, free shipping, free everything as the winner of this major contest, which again, just to clarify, is going to be decided real quickly. And again, Bill O'Rourke, since that's his neck of the woods, he's going to lead Hans and I in the ultimate decision of who's going to be awarded this absolutely drop dead gorgeous 12K. Who's going to get it? Bill O'Rourke is going to really lead us in that respect and help us to decide who ultimately that winner is. Hans and I are going to give input, obviously, but I'm going to give it to Bill as far as the final decision. So if you're either Sunny, Mary, Debbie, or Barbie, you should probably mail Bill a special gift or send him a real nice note and say, Bill, we love you. You're the most amazing guy in the entire universe. Oh, by the way, this is Sunny. Oh, by the way, this is Mary. Oh, by the way, this is Debbie. Oh, by the way, this is Barbie. No, don't do that because then he'll probably disqualify you. But whoever wins this, my gosh, they are going to be just tickled pink. As tickled pink as I was when I bought it from the gentleman over in Great Britain as an original owner machine. And I'll tell you, it's just a fabulous machine, whoever gets it. So again, if you're not a subscriber, click subscribe so that you don't miss out. And let me give you a little quick insight into what this next contest might look like. The next major contest I'm talking about is when we hit 9,000 subscribers. And since we're gaining 200 to 300 a month, this is going to be coming up real quick. Again, our current count as of today is right around 8,660, which means we only need another 340 subscribers to kick in on this next major contest when we hit 9,000. This next contest is going to be centered around Hans Christian from Norway, who serves as one of the moderators and editors for my Facebook business page, along with Bill O'Rourke, that this contest was built around. We built this contest around, again, Kissimmee, Florida, where Bill O'Rourke lives. That's his stomping ground. This next major contest, when we hit 9,000 subscribers, is going to be built around Hans Christian and the great country of Norway. And I've asked Hans to help me come up with the framework of what this next contest is going to look like. And he's only probably got about a month to do it, because now we're going to be hitting that 9,000 subscriber milestone, and we're going to be kicking this next major contest in. So again, if you're not a subscriber and you want to try to win that next machine, which rumor has it is going to be a Swedish Beauty. It's going to be a Swedish Beauty, folks, for this next major contest giveaway for 9,000 subscribers. And I will tell you now that just like this contest, the deciding vote is going to go to Mr. Bill O'Rourke from Kissimmee, Florida. This next major contest that's going to be based on Norway, that neck of the woods, and Hans Christian. Hans Christian is going to have the deciding vote on that contest on who wins that Swedish Beauty that I'm going to give away. I've talked to Hans a little bit about a couple of models that I have in my personal collection, but I haven't decided which one I'm going to give away yet. But stay tuned. That's going to be coming up real quick. Okay, blah, 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 blah. So, the whole purpose of this premiere was not to talk about this contest that just closed, where one of those incredible writers, either Sunny, Mary, Debbie, or Barbie, are going to win this 1885 12K. And not to talk about the future contest when we hit the next milestone of 9,000 subscribers, where we're going to be taking a trip to Norway, and Hans Christian is going to help us with the framework of that contest where you can win a Swedish beauty. This whole premiere was not about contests. Blah! It was about an unboxing, which we're finally going to move to now. So let me throw on a little bit of music while I move this incredible 1885 12K off the table and our pirate slash steamboat captain, and we'll get onto this unboxing. What can I put on here? Okay, that first one, by the way, if you're curious about it, was called Dance of Mammoths. And this next one is going to be Familiar Things. Familiar Things. While we make this little transition from contest winning to an unboxing. I think he's a steamboat captain. That's what I'm going to stick with. Okay, so let me clue you in on this unboxing a little bit. This particular box was actually delivered back in July. It's been really, really busy, and then also, as some of you know, I've had a couple of health setbacks where I was in for a surgical procedure and kind of downtime again. So this machine has been sitting here for a while, patiently waiting to be unboxed. And it was sent to me by Debby Carver from the great state of Tennessee, specifically Knoxville, Tennessee. And Debbie bought this machine from Goodwill. I'm assuming Goodwill online. I didn't ask her that, but that's where a lot of the folks that end up having Goodwill send the machine directly to the workshop will get their machines. So I'm going to be really interested to see this machine once it's unveiled, and as we're going through the process of unveiling it, I would definitely welcome your guesses. And if Debby Carver from the great state of Tennessee is a part of this live premiere, she is by all means able to, as people are throwing guesses out, if she wants to jump in and say, oh, nope, you're not even close. Nope, oh, you're getting warmer. You know, that sort of thing. I love involving the owners during the live premiere in fielding those guesses that people are having about what are we going to see come out of this box. So Debbie, if you're part of this live premiere and you want to step out of the shadows and you want to field those guesses, again, the people will guess because number one, it's just fun, but also because I'll usually give an incentive of something that they can win. Maybe one of those cool coffee theme mugs, or maybe they'll have the opportunity to win one of those really awesome LED light replacements to get rid of that old incandescent 25 bulb that, you know, you can almost cook an egg on. They get so hot, and also they're not very bright. So who knows what I'll end up offering. I kind of just do it on the spot sometimes. But if you're, if you're part of this live premiere and you want to venture some guesses out as to what did Debby Carver buy from Goodwill? What did she ship to the workshop? Jump into that, and if you're correct, then I'm going to send you something special, guaranteed. So let's get some music going. I've got it built around kind of a dramatic theme today. It's labeled as cinematic, so we'll see what kind of stuff we get. This next one is called View of the Valley. View of the Valley. All right, let's get going on this unboxing that Debby Carver sent from Tennessee. So it looks like Debby Carver from Tennessee took mercy on me and did not use packing peanuts. It looks like she used a number of different pads and these airbag type things around her machine. So I'm going to be able to unbox this without quite as much difficulty, which is great. Maybe, may not fit. Okay. So let's see here. I was just reading Debbie's note, and okay. So she has an extra little package in here that she bubble wrapped. Did a brilliant job of it, but I'm not going to show it to you because it would give away in part what kind of machine is in this box. So I'm going to hold this to the side for right now and also hide her note. And I'll set this to the side, and we will continue with the unboxing after I give us a little bit of background music. And this one is called The Future Ancient Now. These look like some awesome pads. Almost like you'd like put them on as a shoulder pad or something like that if you're a football player. Kind of like this. As we're getting ready for football season to eventually start, with no fans in the stand, how does that work at Lambeau Stadium? I mean, if one of the Packers gets a touchdown and decides to do the Lambeau leap, they're going to land in the bleachers. There's not going to be anybody there to catch them. How does that work? Come on, guys. You got to have some fans near that goalpost so that when that Packer jumps up and goes to celebrate with the fans that they just got a touchdown, somebody's going to be there to catch them, right? This is kind of cool, huh? It's a little ring, and then she kind of built it and tied it together with this sticky tape. It's kind of a barrier around the top of the machine so that if something impacted it, it would provide protection. Those folks down in Tennessee are very smart. Very smart. Speaking of that, I should give a shout out. To another good friend of mine from Tennessee, Brad Stuman. Brad Stuman, if you're not familiar with it, on my Facebook business page, he is the featured landing page type post talking about his 66 Red Eye that I did a full restoration of and sent back to him in Tennessee. And Brad recently reached out and had a question about converting motors from 220 to 110. And so he just came to mind as I was thinking about Debbie from Tennessee as well. What a great state that is. What a great state. All right, I'm going to tilt the box a little bit towards you so you can kind of look down inside of it. So here we've got some more of this type padding around the bottom of the base of the machine. And then it looks like on the bottom of the box, we've got a thin layer of bubble wrap. I'm not going to be critical of that because it looks like the machine is real well padded. But even with a well padded, cocooned machine, don't sacrifice the bottom of the box to chance. Add at least 3 or 4 layers of some sort of padding or bubble wrap so that if that box is dropped either on the cement floors at the courier's location or on the metal beds of the trucks, that you're going to have maximum protection for that machine, okay? That was a fun song, wasn't it? That one again was called The Future Ancient Now. Oh, I've got to play this next one. The title is absolutely intriguing. It's called With a Rose in Your Teeth. With a Rose in Your Teeth. But before I hit play on that one, I'll just show you the bottom of Debby Carver's box. Again, I think she's done a real good job of padding the machine. It also looks like she's done a fabulous job of cocooning this machine as well that she sent to the workshop. But this is the only padding right here that was in the bottom of that box to protect the bottom of that machine, apart from the wrap around the machine itself. So let me just say that I think overall Debbie has done a fabulous job of packing, but do not sacrifice the bottom of the box to chance. You'll want to have sufficient padding even if you cocoon that machine, because right now anything that hits the bottom of that box is going to be basically, see how that's kind of pressing up? That flap gets out of the way. See how that's kind of pressing up? So you can just imagine as those couriers are rushing to get this box to the workshop in Wisconsin from Tennessee, and they're jostling this thing around and they're dropping it and they're throwing it in the back of the truck and everything else, this is not going to be enough, folks. So if you do all the other great things that Debby Carver did to protect the machine, just don't miss this. Again, I would recommend probably about 4 layers of padding on the bottom of that box or tote if you're shipping a machine, along with the cocooning as well. And then all the great type of padding that you saw that Debbie did around the machine, that's also brilliant. So let me move this box out of the way. And I think most of you get why I kind of, in these unboxings, will highlight opportunities as far as packing. It's not to be critical of the owner that is shown faith and confidence in investing time and money in getting that machine shipped all the way from wherever they are to the workshop in Oconto, Wisconsin, it's to benefit all of those folks that watch these videos and watch these premieres, so that as they prepare to ship their machine to the workshop, they can learn from the opportunities that others may not have taken advantage of. Does that make sense? So again, I don't want you to think I'm being hypercritical of anyone when I'm doing an unboxing and I'm making remarks about different things. It's to make us better as a force of vintage lovers, so that we can all say, okay, when I eventually get my machine shipped, or when I'm getting a machine shipped to me, I'm going to be pointing them to Scott's videos so that they can benefit from that, you know, that experience of seeing another machine unboxed. You know, what did that person do fantastic at? What could they have done better at? So that's the whole point of this. It's not to be hypercritical. It's not to be judgmental. It's to make us better and to protect our treasures. So if anyone takes offense to that, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to change, because I'm going to do everything possible to, in this classroom of ours, to help all of you, to help others as well know how to protect our treasures better and better and better. And I'm not content even with this style of packing that you can see Debbie's done a brilliant job of replicating. I'm not stopping. I'm continuing to look at ways to improve my processes. So over time, you might see innovations happen in those unboxings where, you know, I'm even doing additional things to safeguard those machines. Why not, right? You have all that anticipation of a machine arriving, and then it arrives broken. That's a bummer for everybody. Okay. So now the intriguing title of With a Rose in Your Teeth. I gotta play it. Here we go. All right, let's continue with this unboxing. All right, if you're new to this, channel, when you're cutting with scissors like that to take these layers and layers off that are, you know, it's wrapped kind of like an onion, just angle those blades away from the machine as you're going along those layers so you don't potentially poke through and damage the machine. I couldn't quite visualize it during that song, but I could kind of see somebody with a rose between their teeth, couldn't you? Yeah, yeah. All right, well this, you know what, while I thought that last title was intriguing, this one is even more intriguing. This next one is called The Crows Did It. The Crows Did It. Why are people always blaming birds? What is that about? And I'll just say this real quick. What Debby Carver did in cocooning this machine is exactly what you want to do if you ship a machine to the workshop. This is textbook perfect. I'm feeling a lot of layers and I'm feeling a lot of incredible thickness to this. Again, your goal is to be able to press against the outside of this once it's cocooned, and all you should feel is padding. You should not feel the different points of the machine poking through. If you can feel that, then you're not thick enough. And it feels like Debby did a brilliant job with this wrapping. Any guesses yet? I'm messing with you. How would you be able to guess? I mean, other than looking at the general size and framework of this machine. Would you like a couple of clues? I'm not looking at the chat, but I'm guessing you're typing yes. Yes, we'd love to have some clues, Scott. We'd love to have some clues. Well, according to the customer, and again, I've had some recent customers that have told me they're sending one thing and then I get totally something different. So I'm going on faith right now and saying the customer told me, my good friend from Knoxville, Tennessee said, Scott, I'm sending you a Singer. So I can tell you this is a Singer sewing machine. And I'll give you one more major clue, a major clue. The first, no, I'm not going to give it to you yet. It's too soon. Oh gosh, I know you're angry. You'll get over it. Okay, I'll give you the clue, doggone it. So the big clue here is the first model like this came out in the year, I gotta put some more music on to give the date. So the next one is called Spring Migration. So the first year that this machine came out, waiting for the music to get a little bit louder. The first year this machine came out was 1911. That's actually a significant year in time for a lot of things. Any of you that admire or collect guns, you know that 1911 is a significant date associated with a lot of firearms as well. So 1911 must have been really an innovative, progressive year. It'd be kind of cool to be able to go in a time machine back to 1911, wouldn't it? That'd be way cool. So again, I'm not looking at the chat, so I don't know what guesses you're tossing out there, but if Debby Carver from Tennessee is a part of this live premiere, hopefully she's fielding your guesses. fun song. I like that one. That was a fun one. So that one again was called Spring Migration. And this next one is called Dream Lagoon. Dream Lagoon. I think we've heard this one before. Nope, we're starting to see little parts of the machine popping through. Get your guesses in. And as far as what you can win if you guess it correctly, I'll give you a choice of either one of the coffee theme mugs. I'll have to let you know what's available when you reach out, or you can pick one of the LED bulbs that I've been just beginning to offer. And again, the LED bulbs they're like a $10 value. So you'd be getting a $10 value either way, whether you go with a mug or whether you go with a LED light bulb. All right, we're real close here, folks, real close. I can see that I have it facing wrong right now. There we go. Boom, 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 boom. It's stuff. I wonder why they call it stretch wrap. I don't know. All right, Casablanca Caravan. Casablanca Caravan. Which would also be a really cool name for a car, don't you think? Excuse me, I really like your car. What are you driving there? I'm driving a Casablanca Caravan. You'd probably have to make it a van, wouldn't you? All right, here we go. love this. Reminds me of the movie Zorro. Have any of you seen the movie Zorro, the recent movie? Well, it's not real recent. That was awesome. I almost would play that song a second time. Didn't you enjoy that? The guitars and just all the beauty of the music. Spanish music is just phenomenal, isn't it? Oh, we're getting really close, folks. Debbie did a fantastic job at packing this. This title doesn't quite click with me, but maybe it'll click with you. Always remember to never. That's it. Always remember to never. I have no idea what that means. Never what? Yeah, they're going to keep us guessing, I guess. Alright, get your guesses in. We're going to be real close to revealing this pretty quick here. Real close. We're down to our last layers of this onion. Again, your clues are, it's a singer, and the first year it was introduced was 1911. 1911. Here we go, folks. Here we go. And I'll have to show you one other part that came with it so that you actually guess the, you'll guess the make and model fine, I'm sure, but so you'll be able to also see how it's set up. Well, there you've got a real clear view of it. Very clear view. It looks like I'm going to have to pick out some other music. I've run it out here. Why don't we go from dramatic to something like, let's see. Here's one called Funhouse Trap. I always have to check this to see if there's anything like tucked in there, like a presser foot or something. A big clue. And Debbie has definitely watched the premieres with a machine that's mounted in a base. You may not be able to see it from that distance, but she strapped it around to anchor the machine to the base so that it didn't come loose. Excellent job, excellent job. Change my shot a little bit since we're down to this stage now. Oh, excellent. She also, you probably won't be able to see it clearly, but she also went around the base to support each of the joints on the machine as well. Again, each one of these corners is basically glued and pinned together. And when you're transporting a machine, that machine weight is pressing down, up and down as that box is jostled. And when you strap around the base like this, like Debbie did, all the way around, several times to really anchor those points, you support that base so that those points that are pinned and glued don't come apart. Because then you're looking at a machine-based repair, which that's just one more thing to the equation that you don't need. You can prevent it. Oh, that must not have been snapped in all the way. I'll just slide it into place right now. Okay. Oh, this is fun. So that last one was called Fun House Trap. This next one is called Yonder Hill and Dale. Yonder Hill and Dale. So what Debbie has here, she just put needle inside and then also included a bobbin winding tire. Very organized. Most customers wouldn't think to do that, and that's okay because I have all that here in the workshop, but the fact that she thought to do it is way cool. This is the one I held up to the camera before that said hand crank. So I'm trusting we will find a hand crank in here. And we did. And this looks like it's probably, yeah, from all that I can see right at this point, this looks like it's an aftermarket one, which is not a problem. They work fine. I've used them before. But I'm just pointing out that it's not an original Singer hand crank, from what I can see at this point at least. Yeah, this is an aftermarket one that is out of China, as most things are these days. Hoping that that's a weld point right there and not a crack. Looks like you probably can't see that in the shot, but you see that little ridge right here. And that might be, I don't think it's a crack. I'm applying a fair amount of pressure and it's not breaking off, so that's a good thing. But yeah, if you've not seen one of these work yet, they're kind of cool. Oh, that handle, I didn't notice that right away. That handle should not be, where am I? The handle should not be bent in like that. It actually got bent. That should not be bent in, it should be straight. So we'll have to see if we can straighten that out. Problem with some of these metals, especially the ones that are made like in China and that, is they use a lower gauge metal. And if you get a bend like this and you try to bend it back, sometimes you're good. Sometimes it'll crack. So hopefully it doesn't crack. But it should be, see how it's not, you're supposed to be able to turn it, and it's hitting right there at the top of the housing. So let me show you real quick, impromptu. What I use, because it doesn't slip as much, if it'll fit in here, so I use a pair of vice grips. Kind of see it right there where we're bent in. And I'll loosen those vice grips enough so that I can just get a bite on it, but I don't want to mar the metal if I don't have to. And then from here, use a little bit of good old muscle and slowly. Just want to make sure I don't bend it too far. And voila, that should do it. Let's see if it turns like it's supposed to. So again, you're going to kind of mount it on, the machine like this, and then from the outside, this is going to go in between the spokes of the spoked wheel, and you turn it. We're sewing! We're sewing! Look at Mom! Look at! Either that or we're fighting flies. Flies in the workshop. Yeah, come on over here, buddy. I got something for you. Yeah. All right, and too much coffee for Scott today. So at any rate, yeah, just a simple little fix like that, and thankfully I didn't overbend it so that it didn't break. So this should be usable with Debbie's machine. I'm going to set that to the side. And then she also, it looks like she included another hand crank as well. And she said she wasn't sure if it was the correct, what did she put? Possible replacement hand crank. There is a loose screw attached to the hand crank by clear wrap. So I'm just curious to take a peek at this real quick if we have time. And there goes my phone. Somewhere. At least I have the volume down this time, huh? And it looks like a local call, so I'm going to send it to voicemail for now. And I don't, unless it's like part of the premiere, like when we talk to Frank Wilson, or we talk to Hans, or maybe we're on the phone with Bill, or something like that. If it's part of the premiere, then I'll obviously answer the phone, but if it isn't, then that person calling me shouldn't be calling me anyway, because guess what? They should be watching the premiere, right? Duh. And this, by the little bit of the handle that I can see, looks like it might be an original Singer hand crank. Might be. So then we can kind of look at them side by side a little bit, which is kind of fun. Well, I think this is an aftermarket as too, based on the molding that I'm seeing, but I actually like this one a lot based on the handle. The handle is got kind of that natural wood look. It's kind of cool. Well, maybe I'm looking at the numbers stamped on it now. Maybe this is an original Singer. It just, the molding looks different than the other ones that I've seen before. Whoops, and I think I just dropped the part that she was talking about. Yep, I did. I got it. It's a mounting bolt. Yeah, I'm kind of torn. I'll have to look at this more closely. Because here's our Chinese aftermarket one that I just straightened out the handle on because it was bent. And here's this other one, which is going to have similar attributes, but it's a slightly different design. It's a slightly different design than the other one. So, and they get pretty clever. They get pretty clever with the aftermarket ones. They start to look a lot like the originals. But I'm guessing by the hardware, I'm looking at the screws that are being holding this plate together, and also this bolt on the other side. But this is definitely a lot better quality aftermarket one, if it in fact is an aftermarket one. I'm going to try to read, get my little magnifier and try to read this. Yeah, the paint is glossy. That's another clue that this is probably also just a better quality aftermarket, is the paint is so glossy. And the original Singer hand cranks, they didn't use glossy paint like that typically on them. It was more matte. But at any rate, we have two hand cranks now. I'll see which one works better with the machine, which is going to be closer to maintaining the authenticity of the machine. And that's the one that we'll use. You can almost juggle with these, which I'm not going to try, because that is not a talent of mine. If you're able to juggle, then I think that's awesome. I had a friend in college that was a very, very talented magician, and he would earn money doing shows and stuff. I actually went with him a couple of times and helped him a little bit as far as his props, and he was able to juggle and do a variety of other things. Very multi-talented. Okay, blah 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 blah. I'm checking my battery real quick. So we're probably going to come off of the tripod, and you can visualize if it were mounted like so. Wait, like so. That this is going to be a hand crank version. Again, the first machine like this came out in 1911. And I'm going to give you another clue if you haven't posted the correct make and model yet. Obviously you have the make right because it's a Singer. Blah, boop. But it came out as an answer to a smaller, more portable version of the Model 66. That's why this machine came into existence from Singer's perspective. The 66 was obviously a full-size machine. It was bulkier. Most often back then, especially in the early 1900s, it would have been mounted in a table, and it had no portability whatsoever. So they wanted to come out with a machine that had some of the same features and benefits, but was 3/4 size instead of full size. And this was the answer. Plus, they ended up making this one set up with the spoked wheel and the hand crank, so you didn't have to worry about going off the grid. You know, you could take it anywhere you needed to take it. Plus, this one you may be able to see is mounted in a base and would have had a bentwood cover over the top of it. So you could grab that handle and you could go anywhere you wanted with this machine and get the job done. Have you guessed it yet? Let's go around the machine if you haven't guessed it exactly yet. And I'm going to be looking for a very specific answer. In other words, once we get to the serial number, you're probably going to have even more of an idea of the origin of this beauty. La, 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 la. Oh, here we go. Dance of the U-boat. How do you beat that? Dance of the U-boat. All right, let's go around Debbie's machine and just take a closer look at it. And if you haven't guessed the model correctly yet, maybe this will help. So again, this is a 3/4 size machine versus the Model 66, which would have been sizably bigger as a full size. And this again, the first time this came on the scene was in 1911. So we'll just kind of go around the machine a little bit. Beautiful faceplate on this model. Isn't that fabulous? Looks like a little cross. A little cross at the top of there, almost like a steeple, doesn't it? And kind of a heart. Debby Carver has good taste. Very good taste. You can see even at this time we had the drop-in style bobbin, and then this little button right here, which is fabulous, that allows you to pop that bobbin up and down and remove it more easily. Very progressive even for the time. All in all, a very clean machine, beautiful decaling and filigree. You know, a couple scuffs and marks here and there. But overall, a very clean, beautiful machine. Fairly rust-free. Now, if you posted some guesses and you need to refine your guess, let me give you a huge clue. Because I was talking about you need to be very specific about what model this is. And the point of origin might be helpful. Let's take a look at that. Out of Great Britain. Again, the largest group of viewers of this channel are from the great country of England, the United Kingdom, which is where this machine came from. You see again how by Debbie taking those extra steps to strap tape, or put stretch wrap around the base, around and around and around to reinforce those seams, we have a bentwood cover base that has arrived beautifully. No issues, no problem. It almost looks like, you see this little hole right here on the front. That hole would indicate that at one time this base at least may have been set up with a knee controller, because that's where the knee controller mechanism would come from the outside. Oh, there's a finger. It would come from the outside in, and then it would connect with a standard foot controller that would be in this space, and then you would actuate it by pushing that lever from the outside to engage the machine. So what's my point? My point is that while this is set up as a hand crank, this base, whatever was in this base originally, whether it was this machine or another, would have been set up as a knee controller, with this being that little space like you see on the 99K13s. I just gave a big clue. You would see that space and there would be a metal cover over it, and then inside of there is a foot controller with a knee controller on the outside to engage it with an electric motor, not with a hand crank, obviously. And we've got these pinpoints, and I'm guessing Debbie probably checked them before she shipped, and you can see they're nice and secure. So, you know, between strapping around like this and strapping around the base and doing all the other things that she did brilliantly, we've got a machine that has arrived in very, very good condition. Very good condition. And apart from a couple little mars on the, you know, the base, stuff like this, and like I already showed you on the front of the machine, this is a gorgeous machine. It's got very few aesthetic challenges. Here we've got a couple little marks here. Yep, this was set up as a knee controller originally, and it would have had an electric motor on the back of it. Interesting. That is really stiff. There we go. Now she's starting to loosen up a little bit. We have to check that to see. It'll work fine, but this one has a spring in it that when you release that, it should be popping back up instead of lifting it back up, and it's not. So we've got a bad kickback spring, which isn't the end of the world. Again, this will work fine without that. And we've got a little bit of very subtle rust and clean up on the balance wheel. But if you could feel this with your own hand, there's my pinky. Very free moving balance wheel. This machine was, wherever it was stored, was in a climate where there's no rust, there's nothing at all inhibiting the movement of this balance wheel to drive that main shaft to that needle bar and make that needle bar move so freely. Yeah, the only rust that I can really see on the machine is, where am I? Right there. That's about it. Trying to get the camera to zero in. So all in all, it's a very clean machine. Oh, I should show you the serial number, right? Then you might be able to look it up during the premiere and post additional information about when the machine was made. Maybe how many were made in that manufacturing group. And we don't see a lot of models starting with Y. Why don't we see a lot of models starting with Y? Yeah, that was pretty corny. I know that was corny. I know. So Y705610, if anybody wants to look it up and post it, I'm just doing it for fun. I'm not going to promise that I'll send you something, but I might, you never know. And if you're not familiar with this era of this machine, which happens to be, I'll finally tell you because I've given you more than enough time to guess it, if you haven't guessed it already and posted it in the chat, along with that huge clue, that this happens to be a 99K. Hand crank. 99K hand crank. Blah, blah. And obviously from Great Britain. So, but if you're not familiar with this particular style of 99K, this right here is going to be your stitch length controller. Right here. If you screw it all the way in, as far as it'll go, you'll have a real long stitch, probably about 6 stitches per inch. If you screw it out, turning it counterclockwise, blah, 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 then you'll get much tinier stitches and you'll be able to get down to right around pretty close to 30 stitches per inch, which is teeny tiny. So it's a fabulous machine, Debbie. I love it. 99K hand crank is very, very collectible, and especially in this condition, it's drop dead gorgeous. And I'm assuming at home you probably have the original bentwood cover that goes over the top, so you can latch it into these points right here and carry this machine pretty much anywhere you want to carry it. But again, if you didn't know it, Debbie, or others viewing this particular base that your machine is in suggests that either this machine or another machine that would have been also a 99 was originally set up as a knee-controlled machine based on this hole right here. And in all likelihood, was a 99K 13. And that was the only distinction between the 99K and the 99K 13, is the 99K was going to be either a hand crank or connected with a motor and a standard foot controller. The 99K 13 would have a knee controller with a little connecting point that would stick through there and then be attached to a foot controller right in there in that little compartment. And then you would push that knee controller to the right to engage that electric motor. Yeah. So that's kind of nifty. Nifty and swifty. So yeah, we'll take a look at these hand cranks. And again, this is a much higher quality. From what I can see, it's an aftermarket, but if anyone has a different opinion and wants to express it, I certainly welcome that. So, all right. Well, that pretty much wraps up the unboxing of Debby Carver's 99K hand crank, which I think is a spectacular looking machine. And it'll be a lot of fun to get this all set up and operating perfectly, and then eventually premiere it. But again, there's a long line of machines in front first. As most of you know, because of my health conditions, I haven't been working quite as many hours as I was originally, so I'm falling behind a little bit. As a matter of fact, I've never done it before in the 20 plus years that I've been doing this. But I might actually have to do a temporary stop on receiving more machines in part because I'm running out of space, but also just so that, you know, unless the customer says, hey, I don't care if I get it back in a year. I mean, look at the ones recently that we just finished up. Me. It's just me, folks. The ones that I recently finished up for Debbie out in Pennsylvania that has the ice cream shop. I've had those machines for almost a year. Of course, she brought 5 of them to the workshop, for goodness sakes. What's that about? Well, that's about, wow, that's fantastic. Plus, she drove the 1,600 miles round trip. I mean, if that isn't, wow, that's awesome. All right, well, so again, the major contest that some of you may have gotten involved with or certainly have knowledge of is now completed. And Bill and Hans and I are going to be in huddles for the next number of days trying to look at those 4 excellent writing pieces that were submitted by Sunny, by Mary, by Debbie, and by Barbie. And then ultimately, Hans and I will give our recommendations, but Bill will make the decision on who receives that 1885 12K that I showed at the intro of this premiere. And keep watch, because that next major contest is just a hiccup away, where I'm going to be taking us to Norway so you can get to know even more about the beautiful place that Hans Christian calls home. And again, I'm looking to Hans to help me with the framework of that next contest. It may be different than what we've done the last couple of times with creative writing pieces. I'm not sure what he's going to suggest that we do, but I'm all ears and I'm open to that. So that's about it, folks. Bidet, that's all. So again, my thanks to Debby Carver from Knoxville, Tennessee for sending this fantastic 99K. And watch for other great premieres. I've got a number of machines lined up right now for unboxings, so you're going to see a lot of unboxings over the next couple of weeks or so. Okay? God bless, and remember, You're never old until regrets take the place of dreams. So hang on to your dreams, and more importantly, as I say all the time, take action on your dreams. Make them happen. All right? God bless.